Hi, everybody. Hi. Uh-oh. I'm actually going to wait until some more people come in. Can you guys like the live as you come in, please? Thank you. Let's see. So I got a few clips I want to show you guys, but I'm going to wait until a few more people come in. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. Can y'all hear this fan in the background? Is it loud? Thank you, Joy. Is it Joy Vive? Sorry if I said that wrong. Thank you. Thank you. S. Fan is not loud. Can't hear. Okay, great. Because it's hot. And I always be kind of worried, like, if the fan is going to be loud. Oh, I did? Okay. Great. I be butchering names. I be trying not to. Especially on TikTok. Everybody got the most ridiculous names, like crazy names on TikTok. And I'm like, look, I can't pronounce that. I don't know what this is. And I'm somebody who was really good at spelling and like did really well in like language arts, English, all of that, very well. And I still be like, look, I don't know what y'all doing. So, let's see. Oh, this is not live. Hold on. Okay, so I came across some stitches on TikTok, right? And actually been wanting to talk about this for a while, but I don't know if I kept forgetting about it or it just wasn't a priority or whatever. But I really want to talk about one and done moms and how I'm starting to realize that a lot of one and done moms get a lot of pushback as if they're child free. And I know that sounds absolutely crazy, doesn't it? She said, me too. I was good at spelling, but spell check has ruined me. Same. Oh my God. Same. I thought I was the only one. Yeah, so apparently there's like this, I guess, hate train, if you want to call it that, towards moms who are one and done. And I'm like, how and why? This is what I mean when I say people are never satisfied. No matter what a woman does, it's wrong. It doesn't matter what decision you make in life, it's not the right one. There's always going to be people that like just always got something to say. Let's see here. Yo, I need to wash my hair. That's all I've been thinking about all day. It's like my hair is it's a hot mess. We all nitpick ourselves, right? A lot of people are like, oh, your hair is fine. I'm like, no. Once it rains, my hair it's a wrap. It's over. And even when it stops raining and my hair doesn't get wet, the humidity acts as if it's gotten wet. So, same difference. The joys of being a natural, right? I actually want to do content about Black women in our hair, and I've been kind of holding back because I know for a fact that at least half of Black women are not ready to have that conversation. Joy V said, clean scalp, washed mine yesterday. Girl. Oh, okay. Nose ring gang. Okay. I've had my nose ring for about, when did I get this nose ring? I want to say I got it when I was maybe 22. And I'm 40 now, so I've had my nose ring for quite a while. I want to say it was. I want to say I was 22. Uh, S says it's a touchy subject. It is, and that's why I'm taking my time with, and I want to be very careful with how I present it. But it's definitely something that I want to talk about in the future, especially since the vast majority of my audience is Black women, and which my intention, obviously. But I welcome all women here, so it's not just for Black women, but we are the priority over here on this channel. But I am like a fan of women in general. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what your, I ain't gonna say I don't care what your political beliefs are, because I kind of do. You know what I'm saying? I try not to, but this last election, I'm like, look, this wasn't about, the last election was not about just normal politics, business as usual. The last one was literally people's morals and the fact that so many people voted with their hatred. And so in this particular case, because of what was at stake, I absolutely judge you based on who you voted for. If you don't like it, you can get lost, and it just is what it is over here. But normally, I don't really care that much about who people vote for. I accept everybody's backgrounds, race, cultures, creeds, whatever. I don't normally care. So it's open for all women, but only women who actually want to help propel women and womanhood forward in society. Wherever you come from, if your common goal is to propel women forward, you're welcome here. Anybody else outside of that agenda, not welcome here. And it's really that simple. Let's see. I'm an only child, born in the late 70s. My mom had to constantly defend my parents' decision to stop at one. Her favorite saying was, "Children aren't earrings. They don't have to come in pairs." Oh, I love that. I love it. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. She said, yeah, us and hair. The best thing I did for mine was giving up perms during COVID. Now my hair is so long and thriving. Absolutely. And the biggest part, and we're getting off subject here a little bit, but I'm going to get back on subject, but we're going to talk about this more. The biggest part with Black women in our hair is that a lot of Black women have never even taken the time to actually learn their hair and to get to know their hair and to figure out what their hair needs, what it likes, what it doesn't like. And so they have no idea how much your natural hair will thrive in every way possible. Black women with 4C hair, we have the most versatile hair on the planet. We're the only people on the planet with our type of hair. And it's been demonized for the same reasons that they demonized everything else about or all the other Black features that they're now laying on surgery tables to get. So I just want Black women to realize that the I'm sorry to say it, the self-hatred that a lot of Black women have towards their hair is rooted in white supremacy. You think your hair is nappy because of white supremacy. You think your hair is difficult to manage because of white supremacy. The reason why it's difficult to manage is because you're trying to do things to your hair that's not supposed to be done to your hair. You're trying to get your hair to act like it's a texture of some other race. That's why it's difficult. I hope that makes sense. At this point, the wigs and stuff, listen, and let me, as a disclaimer, this is coming from somebody who used to wear wigs. I used to like wigs. I've never glued. I have to always make sure I put this in there. I have never once glued a wigs in my head ever in life. Okay. I did do the tracks when I was in middle school, high school. I did the tracks with the glue tracks. I absolutely did that. I would mold my hair down with gel, put a cap on, and glue my tracks in and leave the little hair, the little leave out or whatever. I did do that. But when it came to wigs, I never glued a wig to my head. And to be honest, when I see Black women in particular going through the motions and doing all of this plucking and dyeing and all this maneuvering, manipulation to these wigs, I've gotten to a point in my life where I get physically nauseous now when I see Black women doing this. I don't know why. I don't know if it's my age. And I'm starting to really see, the damage that it's doing to our psyche as Black women. It's a sickness at this point. And I'm not, if you are in the comments and you wear wigs as a Black woman, I am not attacking you. I promise you. That's not what this is. Okay. But it's a sickness at this point. And the reason why I feel like that is because it's like the ways in which y'all, it's so diabolical at this point. And like I said, I'm not trying to step on no toes. I love all my Black women, the ones that love other Black women. If you're a Black woman and you don't like other Black women, I don't like you. So I love all Black women who like and love Black women. So that's a disclaimer. Everybody ain't welcome here. You are on a general scale until I realize that you are a pick me, or you are a woman hater, or you have too much internalized misogyny and you're not willing to unpack it. You voted for Trump, things of that nature. Then I don't like you. You're too male-centered. I'm like, male-centered women have hope, but all the other, it ain't no hope for a lot of women. I'm sorry. But male-centered women can have hope because a lot of women who have discentered men were male-centered at one point. So there's absolutely redemption for you. So I give y'all a chance. But once I realize, it's too much, it's too ingrained, there's no hope for you, then I'm done with it after that. Let me go back. Yeah, we're so off topic too, by the way. But I do want to introduce this topic into my lives from now on just a little bit to scratch the surface, because I want to test the temperature before I get deep into how Black women and their weaves or wigs, really the wigs, are turning into a sickness now. And I know all the lies. I am a Black woman. So I know all the lies that Black women tell each other and tell other people and tell themselves even. Oh, it's a protective style. I want to protect my hair. And it's like, you're protecting it to never show it? That doesn't make any sense to me. You have so much pride in it and you love it so much that you never want it to be seen ever? That doesn't make sense. Oh, sometimes I want to switch it up. That's fine. I get the switching up thing. Trust me, I'm the switch up queen when I was wearing my weaves and I would go back and forth to my, with my hair, and I would do my hair this way and I would put this color wig on. I know the switch up. However, is it really switching up if you are gluing a wig to your head 12 months out the year? Is it really a switch up? Because I don't think so. I think that's a lie that Black women tell themselves. And I understand. I want y'all to know that I understand the history of why Black women started relaxing our hair in the first place. The reason why we were getting our hair pressed on Sundays for church and getting perms and all that, I totally understand where that comes from. It's because Black women have been demonized for everything. Even though we're the most imitated on the entire planet, because we're the blueprint, we're still demonized. The part that bothers me is that a lot of Black women have internalized that demons. What's the word I'm looking for? Being demonized. Like, Black women have internalized that, and they don't know how to break away from it. And so the reality is a lot of Black women don't feel beautiful or as beautiful with their natural hair, which is why they cover it up with wigs all the time. And I know a lot of Black women are going to defend that and say, no, that's not true. And it's too much and it's too this and it's that, it's too much work, blah, blah, blah. And I get that. There's a part of that I believe is true. I know a part of that is true. As a natural woman, I am telling you, I know that some days it can be a lot. But name anything in life that some days it's not a lot. That's everything on the planet. Everything is a lot sooner or later, one way or another. But when you really love something and take pride in it, you're going to find a way to make it work. And I don't ever want Black women to think I'm trying to police them, because we get enough of that in society. Trust me, I know. I remember we were having a conversation about the bonnets and shit, and I was like, I'm not really a fan of seeing anybody wearing bonnets in public. But if you feel like wearing a bonnet in public, that's your head. Like, you can do what you want to do. I just don't think you got the right to be mad that we live in a society that's going to dog you out and treat you a certain way because you look like you rolled out of bed and didn't give a fuck how you look that day. That's the society we live in. This is about learning how to play the game. Now, if you don't want to play the game as a Black woman, I support you because I get it. You don't have to play the game. But can you really complain that the game is being played on you because you don't want to play a game that's being played on you regardless to whether you play or not? I don't think you really have room to complain at that point, though. I mean, life is a thinking game. Life is a thinking game. Whether you want to accept that or not, that's what it is. And the difference between the people who succeed and the people who fail is all in the way you think. Are you willing to play the game to get ahead? Are you willing to play the game to get the things that you want out of men, out of life, out of your job? It's a personal choice. But I just don't think you have the right to complain, about certain things if you're not willing to play the game. You're in the game. Whether you want to accept that or not, you're in the game. The very fact that you are a live, living, breathing thing on this planet, especially in this country, you are inducted into the game the moment your mother gave birth to you, whether you like it or not. It's all about how you play it at this point. Hey, SJ Talks, how are you? I'm glad you made it. I wasn't even going to go live. This was like such a last minute thought, like 10 or 15 minutes before I came on here. I was like, you know what? I think I want to go live. But it wasn't about the hair thing, y'all. The topic is technically about one and done moms, and how if you are a child-free woman, you will find that one and done moms actually help to vindicate child-free women. If you get where I'm going with that. Not that we need to be vindicated, but sometimes it feels like we do because we're so demonized for going against the status quo. But they actually help. I've always had a respect for women. I'm not going to say I don't have respect for you if you have multiple kids. I'm not saying that. But women who are one and done, they get it. They're the closest things to getting it as far as moms go. And I'm not saying that a mom with 4 kids don't get it, or a mom with 8 kids can't get it. That's not what I'm saying either. But I feel like one and done moms are like the closest to understanding child-free women and why we chose not to have kids, if that makes sense. So anyway, it's enough of us in here now. I'm going to play a couple clips. They're all fairly short. There's one that's probably like 2 minutes or something like that. So yeah, here's one.
All I can handle. I am a one and done mom. I only have one child because that's all I can handle. I am a one and done mom. I've sent plenty of men on their way when they ask me to get married and have more children, or they express their desire to have multiple children. I tell them, listen, baby, I'm not the woman for you. Go on out there and find the woman for you that will give you a baby, because it's not me. And I ain't never felt no kind of way, and I've never regretted it.
Amen to that. Okay. Listen. The amount of self-awareness with these moms, listen, is unmatched. Hold on, y'all. Oh no, I seen that. Oh wow, I'm way up here. Queen Rena says they're upset with one and done because they know multiple children is what causes a lot of extreme problems. Absolutely. You know what really bugs me the most are, and if you're not a mom that does this, then I am not talking about you. Okay. But there are moms with multiple children and they don't understand why a woman, they claim not to understand why a woman will stop at one kid. And I'm talking about those specific ones that have multiple children, complain every fucking day, all day they complain about how hard motherhood is, especially if you're a single mother or if you're a married single mother. It's so hard, it's so difficult. And the baby daddy ain't SHIT and blah 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 and child support and they're cutting off my food stamps and blah 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 whoop de whoop de whoop. And then you turn right around and act like you don't understand why a woman would be one and done. Like, really? I laugh at people like that because I'm like, you just want this woman to be as miserable as you are, and that's literally what that is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But if you're not that kind of mom, I'm not talking to you. But y'all know the moms I'm talking about. The ones who complain all day and every day about how life sucks. And y'all don't understand what it's like. You're not a mom, so you don't get it. We actually do understand. That's why child-free women chose not to have kids. We understand it on a much deeper level than you will ever know. Because child-free women have we've taken the time out to actually think about the ramifications of being a mother, especially being a black mom in this country, especially in this economy, especially with the type of men that we have as our so-called counterparts, especially like we understand there are so many moving parts to why child-free women choose not to have kids. We've thought about it. A lot of mothers, whether they love being a mother or not, a lot of them they didn't think about it in the same depth that child-free women have. And many of them who have thought about it after the fact, they're the ones who say, if I knew back then what I know now, I wouldn't have had kids. They're the main ones that are saying if they could do it all over again, they wouldn't do it. Because they thought about it in depth, but only after the fact. Child-free women think about it beforehand, and we don't do it. We just choose not to do it. The one and done moms get to have the experience of motherhood if that's what they want, but also the experience, the joys of it, but also knowing, no, I don't want to do this again. So they kind of get the best of both worlds, if that makes sense, because you can still have a life with one kid. In comparison to a woman with like 6 kids or 4 kids, it's a lot harder, right? Let's go into this other clip.
I am so happy to see so much more one and done content on here lately because my child is 10 years old and I'm tired.
Hang on, I don't know why. There it is. Okay.
I am so happy to see so much more one and done content on here lately because my child is 10 years old and I'm tired of people asking me, when are you going to have another one? I'm not. My son is halfway to being an adult. Why do I want to start over? And that's cool for people who want to, but this is it for me. And I'm fine with that. I plan on traveling the world and living my life like a rich auntie with one child. No more.
Mom, I don't see why you want another one. Because people see how I am with my daughter and I always be like, oh, you're such a good mom. I don't see why you want another one. Because I'm a good mom, I'm not having another one. Because I know what I can handle financially and mentally. And another kid is not it. And on top of that, having kids is really not all that. I really hated being pregnant. I hated giving birth. I love being a mom. I love doing stuff with my daughter. But if it was 2 of them, I don't think I would like it as much. Like, I really enjoyed just me and my girl. I really enjoyed it. And also, I want to give her the best of the best. Like, I want her to have
be in private school. I want her to do sports. I want her to play instruments. I want us to take vacations. Y'all know I like to eat out, so I want me and her to be able to eat out. I want us to be able to travel. Like, I want us to be able to do that. And I feel like if I add another one to the mix, it ain't gonna be what I wanted. Like, I feel like a lot of y'all just be having kids just to have kids and don't be thinking about their quality of life. But for me, baby, I'm through. I'm through.
I had one auntie. Let me think. Only one auntie, which was my mom's sister, who had one kid, one and done. One and done. My mom's oldest sister, the one who I'm named after, she had 3. And she was the only one whose husband loved her, stayed with her till she died, all of that. Like, the only decent, like, man, out of all the women who had men in their lives, she was the only one. But she had 3. My mom had 6, so it's 3 boys, 3 girls. I'm the oldest daughter, which is another reason why I'm like, what they call it, the oldest daughter to child-free pipeline is a real thing, by the way. There's a connection to women who are child-free who were the eldest daughter. Or if she wasn't the eldest daughter, she was the only girl or something like that. Like, she did a lot of the child rearing, helping the mom out, that sort of thing. Babysitting cousins and siblings and everybody else has a lot to do, for sure, for me personally, with why I'm child-free. Huge. Being parentified makes a huge difference. My mom's other sister had 3. Then another auntie had 4. And my one auntie had 1. And then my youngest auntie didn't have any kids. But, she wasn't child-free. She was childless. But that's another topic for another day. But yeah. And on my dad's side, they all got multiple children. 3+ kids, all of them. My dad's mom, I think it's like 12 of them. So I only had one auntie. She's no longer with us, but she was one and done. She said pregnancy was miserable. Childbirth was miserable. The expenses of raising kids was miserable. She loved her daughter to death. She loved her daughter down, for sure. That's one of my aunties who I know for a fact would literally unalive someone for her daughter. But she just knew she was done after one. She was the only one. And I always thought she was just so smart to me. I'm like, you knew after one that you didn't want to have more. Now, if you knew you always wanted multiple kids, like Sierra, for an example, I love using her as an example. Sierra, the singer, when she first came out, because I've been a fan of hers since Goodies. If you know, you know. Okay. But Sierra has always said she wanted 5 kids. 5. She has 4. So I don't know if she's going to have another one, because allegedly her and Russell said they was done after when, I think, whichever one is the 4th one. She was like, they was like, oh, we're done. No, sorry. After the 3rd one, they said they were done. And so then she ended up having another one. But she might have another one. I don't know. But she's always said she wanted to have 5 kids because she was an only child. And so some women know what they want. And I don't know her behind closed doors. I don't know her in real life. But she does seem very happy with motherhood. That's the vibe I get. She seems like it's the best thing that's ever happened to her. I could be wrong, because a lot of women do fake it. But I just don't get fakeness from her with anything that she does, if I'm being honest. So there are women out there who are like, look, I want multiple kids. I'm happy with my multiple kids. It is what it is. But a lot of women will have a bunch of kids and complain after every one. They'll have one, then they'll complain. Then they'll have another one, and then they'll complain. And then they'll have another one. I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself and those poor kids? Why do you keep doing? Like, I'll never understand when women do that. It's like, you can get on birth control, right? You can just be abstinent, right? You can use condoms, right? I mean, there's things you can do, right? You don't have to have a baby every time you lay down and bust it wide. You don't. A baby doesn't have to come from that. I'm 40 years old. I'm the queen of landing low and busting and wide and making sure I don't have no effing babies behind it. The queen. Okay? It can be done. It can be done, y'all. Y'all be acting like, oh, once you late. Y'all remember the movie Boys in the Hood? If you know, you know. The way that was it Trey? I can't remember. The way he described when a woman gets pregnant, you take a girl, you stick your pee in her, and then 9 months later a baby come out. Y'all remember that? I forgot how old he was. 10, 12. I don't remember how old he was when he told his daddy that, because his dad, played by Lauren Fishburne, was like, what do you know about having kids, or what do you know about babies, or smacks with a woman or something? I can't remember the question, but he was like, I know a lot about it. You take a girl, you stick your thing in her, and 9 months later a baby come out. Grown women seem to have that same mindset. Grown women, like that's the only option. If you lay down with a man, you just got to have a baby, and then turn around and complain about it. And I just don't get it. I really don't. When I tell y'all that's the most confusing thing in the world to me. I do know that there are women who get off on the attention of being pregnant. That's a real thing. If y'all didn't know that's a real thing, it's a real thing. There are women who, no matter how miserable they are, no matter how broke they are, no matter how much they're struggling, the 9 months of attention from being pregnant is worth it to them. Just to turn right around and be miserable in poverty and all of that again. And then they'll turn around and get pregnant again because they feed off. There's a term for it, and I can't remember what it's called. But women who just like the attention when the attention that they get when they're pregnant. And they'll just keep doing it. And of course, it's usually impoverished women who do this. It's the women who can't afford kids the most are the ones who pop out the most kids. That's the sad part about it. The Octomom lady, yeah, wasn't Octomom pregnant one time and had all those babies, or was it multiple pregnancies and each pregnancy was like 4 kids or something like that? I can't remember how that went. Because I thought she ended up going through in vitro or something, and she ended up pregnant with a bunch of kids at one time. Which, how did she survive that? I have no idea. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh yeah, I wanted to clarify something too. When I made that post about, there was a post, let me find it so I can read it to y'all. I made a post about 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about the natural hair thing. And let me find it. We were talking about the natural hair thing, and we were saying how when little boys see their mom not wearing her natural hair or relaxing it or wearing wigs or whatever, it enforces in them that if my own mother doesn't like her natural texture, then, and she's putting on other textures of wigs of other women, other races, then maybe that's the standard, and maybe that's what I should like as well. Now, even though I think that's partially true, I don't think that's fully true, but I do think it's partially true. There's multiple things can be true at once, right? The post wasn't really about what Black men wanted. And that post went over a lot of people's heads because they were like, I don't care what Black men want. And I listen, whenever I hear a Black woman say, I don't care what Black men want, you just made my day. I want you to know that, because I want more women to not give 2 shits about what some man wants. Trust and believe. You made my day. I'm happy. But that's not what the post was really about. It really wasn't about what men want and if you should care what men want. Wait, what? Hold on. What am I missing? Anyway, let me read this real quick, because let me find it. It was never about what men wanted. I wanted to segue that post into the deeper conversation that, in my opinion, must be had, because Black women and the wig thing is becoming a sickness in our community. That's just my own personal opinion. I am not a psychologist, or anything of that sort, which technically I could be if I go back to school and finish my credentials towards psychology, because by the time I got done with almost being done with nursing school before I quit, I was on my way to having 3 degrees actually, and I wasn't that far away from different degrees. So technically, if I really wanted to go back to be a psychologist, I wouldn't have that much further to go. However, I am not licensed, okay? But anyways, I think it's a sickness at this point. It's starting to, and the reason why I think it's a sickness is because I keep seeing more and more Black women who are going bald. They are getting traction alopecia. And certain types of alopecia won't grow back after a while. After you keep damaging those follicles so much and you keep ripping them out with the glue, eventually it's just not going to grow back anymore. And they're willing to go bald in order to wear some other woman's textured hair. And I'm sorry, but that's just the reality of it. And I know y'all don't want to accept it. I know this is not a conversation that Black women want to have, but I just know how much more powerful we could be as a group if we did something as simple, but also as complex as wearing our natural hair. As much as I used to like wearing weaves and stuff, mostly in my late teens and into my mid 20s, as much as I liked wearing weaves and switching up my hairstyles, do y'all know that right now, if I put a wig on my head, I would not want to go outside in public in that wig. I could have the best 40-inch bust down or whatever y'all call it now, because it was something different when I don't remember. It was called something different when I was wearing wigs in my 20s. Okay, y'all calling it bust downs now or whatever. I'm just only saying what I be hearing y'all say. I don't know what the hell the difference is. I don't know, but I don't care how much money the hair costs, how pretty it is, how good the lace is, how much it looks like my natural hair. I don't care. I don't feel beautiful with wigs on my head anymore. I feel as if I am covering up my natural beauty. I feel as though I am hiding and taking away from my features. That's another thing, Black women. Those straight wigs take away from our beautiful features. Whenever I see a woman with this straight, with wavy curl type, whatever curls y'all do to y'all hair with those wigs, whatever. And this woman has Black women typically have great bone structure. Our noses, no matter how narrow or wide you think it is, should not ever be fucked with. Okay. Our cheekbones, all of that straight hair just covers that up, whether y'all realize it or not. It doesn't accentuate our natural features. The same features that other races of people are paying thousands of dollars to get to, by the way. Don't forget that. Everything that they demonize us for as Black women, they're doing it. They're going behind us, behind the scenes, and literally paying thousands of dollars to have it. And we're sitting here still thinking, oh, my natural hair is too hard to deal with. Oh, my natural hair is too kinky. Oh, I can't do shit with this hair. Oh, the slave hair. Y'all remember I told y'all some Black women told me I got slave hair? Which I'm like, if you want to call it slave hair, that's fine. I mean, I'm rocking my slave hair to the day I unalive. So it is what it is. I'm proud of my slave hair. And as much as I don't want it to seem like Black women should be in competition with each other, like the natural versus the weaved or whatever, you're never going to beat natural under any circumstances. You're just not. And a lot of times, unfortunately, and the reason why, it's not because of the male gaze or any of that. It is freeing. And a lot of y'all don't know how freeing it is to wear your natural hair because y'all don't wear it. The freedom of wearing your natural hair. The freedom of not worrying about if your wig is going to slide off if you jump in the pool. Now, I got to worry about shrinkage. I do got to worry about shrinkage if my hair get wet. But the shrinkage is an indicator that your hair is natural. I mean, is healthy, actually. So shrinkage is an asshole. Trust me. It can be a pain in the butt. But I would never go back. I would never relax my hair again. And I don't feel comfortable putting a wig on my head and going outside. I just don't. Because and this is just me. As I've gotten older, I'm like, why am I going to mimic the hair texture of other races that literally hate us and put them on a pedestal to think we think your hair is better, so I'm going to wear your texture hair? Because see, it would be better if Black women that wore weaves and wigs that resembled our texture, right? The curly kinky wig or the afro wig. To me, that's more powerful. But wearing the hair of your, I guess, oppressor, which I hate saying that because it doesn't really track in that way, but y'all get what I'm trying to say, right? Wearing the hair of the texture of women who literally demonize you for wearing your natural hair, but then they turn around. You know what I mean? These people a lot of them are so ass backwards. But we're saying, we don't like y'all. We don't like white supremacy. We don't like what y'all have done to us. But we're going to mimic your hair, though, because our hair isn't good enough. When you don't wear your natural hair and you wearing their hair, that's the message that you're giving off. Whether you believe that or not, whether you admit it or not, whether you agree or not, doesn't matter. That's the message you're sending. Point blank, period. You think Black women not wearing their natural hair is a sickness? I think absolutely. I think Black women that go through, so the amount of effort that I see women putting into wigs and not their natural hair is a sickness. I get nauseous. Like it's to the point now where I scroll past those wig videos. I just scroll past. When I see a Black woman wearing a wig, I scroll past. And it's not because the wigs are not pretty on them, because some people's wigs are absolutely beautiful. The problem that I have is not you wearing the wig. It's that you're wearing the wig 12 months out the year and calling it a protective style. The lying to yourself is the problem that I have. Lying to yourself. And then the message that you are sending your daughters is my problem. Because if you think your daughter watching you pluck and color and dye and whatever wigs and put hours of effort into somebody else's texture of hair instead of her own, if you think that's not affecting her self-esteem, you're in denial. If you think that's not going to make her feel like she got to grow up and get a perm or a relaxer or wear wigs and stuff, you're wrong. It's absolutely teaching your daughters not to like her own hair as well. That's what it's doing. Whether you want to admit that or not, I don't care if you agree or disagree. That's what it's doing. And now we're going to have another generation of girls growing up, walking around, gluing somebody else's hair to their forehead in order to feel beautiful. And that's not to be mean or degrading to y'all. I have to put it as bluntly like that because I want you guys to really think about it from this lens. It's gonna hurt your feelings. But you are gluing someone else's hair to your forehead in order to get whatever attention you need to get, or to feel pretty, or to get the male gaze, or to make, or what y'all like call it, shitting on other bees or whatever y'all be saying, because that's crazy. It's crazy. Oh my God. Whenever I hear Black women talk about they pooping, because I can't say too many cuss words too many times or they like demonetize my video. When I see Black women talking about I'm pooping on other women and not in those words because of a wig, because my wig cost $800 and your cheap wig cost $50, I'm like, we have lost the plot. Oh my God. It's a sickness. You are literally competing with other Black women on who can wear somebody else's hair better. That's literally what it boils down to. I had to say pooping because If I keep saying the S word, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is not suitable for the ad revenue." So yeah, I'm trying to clean my language up, y'all. It's hard. It is so hard, but I'm only doing it for that purpose, not because of any other reason. I'm a cuss to the day I die. I'm not trying to clean up my language in real life just so I can stay monetized on social media. Just so y'all know. And don't get me started on the white women wear weave too. White women, oh my God. Yes, white women, Mexican women, Latino, whatever, those women wear hair that matches their natural hair textures. Black women do not. That is the difference. Thank you. I'm leaving this comment up for a minute. Thank you. Oh my God. That's the difference. That is the. Let's take a moment of silence for this comment, please. Yes. I would go so far as to say they probably are the ones who admitted or who invented weaves and wigs. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe they're the ones who invented it. The point is, they're not walking around with Afro wigs unless they're trying to be funny or they're doing it in a movie or a play or something, right? They're not walking around everyday life with Afro wigs and, you know what I'm saying? They're not doing that. We're the only ones, Black women are the only ones that feels as though long, straight textures is better than our natural hair. And I know Black women who have a crap ton of beautiful 4C, 4B hair, and they wear wigs all the time. Got the hair, got the density, got the length, got the edges, got everything, but they still wear wigs. Those Black women exist too. But the problem is they're like, well, my hair is too much to deal with. It's easier for me to just braid my hair and put a wig on. I get it on one hand, but on the other hand, you're too lazy to take pride in your natural crown. You would rather cover your natural crown up with the crown of another race of women who don't like you, who are jealous of what you have. How much sense does that really make? Make it make sense. It still even if you got the hair as a Black woman, it still boils down to, why are you not wearing your natural textured hair in a wig? And you know what I'm saying? If you're lazy, if you're a lazy natural, I'm a lazy natural at times. I'm gonna be honest. I am sometimes. If you're gonna be a lazy natural, that's fine. But it will make more sense to me that the wigs that you choose resemble your natural hair texture and not somebody else's. That's the difference. So y'all can lie to yourselves, and I'm going to call out those lies because as a Black woman, I know the game and I know what y'all are doing. Oh, it's a protective style. Oh, I like to switch it up. You're not switching up nothing if you're wearing somebody else's hair 12 months out the year. You're not. You're just switching different styles, same texture of white women or Asian women or whoever, wherever y'all get your hair from now. I don't know. I forgot. Malaysia or whatever y'all are doing. And also, too, I want to bring this up. Let me see. As a matter of fact, let me find this video and I'm gonna play this because this brings me to the next point. And I will come back to this. Where is it? The amount of money that Black women give other communities with this whole wig thing, listen, diabolical. Now, this is going to tie into this topic too. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on. All right.
Women not being able to find jobs is white America's way of trying to starve off and kill the black community. Black American people specifically. Everybody knows who the providers in the black community are. If black women don't work, black children don't eat. And I see some of you talking about the birth rate and saying that whites are upset because they only want more white babies being born. That's not true. Who do y'all think they want their kids to step on when they get older? They need more black bodies too. And we all know that poverty breeds crime, so please put the pieces together. All of this is intentional and deliberate and their way to try to kill off black people in the United States.
Now, the reason why I added that clip is because the billions of dollars, y'all, my head is starting to hurt when I think about it. The billions of dollars that black women give to the Koreans, the white folks, the Asians, the Malaysians, whatever, wherever y'all get y'all wigs from. We're going to need to resource that money or reroute that money back to the black community. Okay? Because that whole DEI thing, okay? The DEI thing was, in my opinion, to kick women in general out of the workforce. Black women, particularly white women, right? It was really about women. Black people were like, oh, Target got rid of DEI, so I'm not shopping at Target. Look, I told y'all before, I never boycotted Target. As a matter of fact, I'm probably making a Target run tomorrow. I never boycotted Target because it's not really about black people. Black people largely did not benefit from DEI. DEI, getting rid of DEI was about really oppressing women because women have too much freedom now. We have too much autonomy. We have our own bank accounts. We can work. We can take care of ourselves. We are the main people, gender of people filing for divorce. And the men are panicking. That's why they overturned Roe versus Wade. That's why they're doing all of these things to force women back home. The amount of rent and mortgage rates and all that stuff is super high because they're like, okay, these women are not going to be able to survive on their own. Eventually, they're going to have to depend on a man. They're trying to, in Project 2025, make it to where same-sex marriage is illegal and all of that stuff. They're rolling back all this stuff in order to bring the power balance back to white people. And whichever way they got to do that, that's what they're doing. And I want y'all to understand this. So a lot of black women are saying, I can't find a job. That's on purpose. They got rid of DEI because make America great again means make America, take America back to when only white people had wealth, money, and power. It's too many other races of people outside of white people that are doing better than they would have ever thought we would be doing. And many of us are doing better than a lot of the quote unquote poor whites. They can't have that. That's why they went and voted the way they did. They voted not for eggs and gas prices like they tried to cover it up and lie about. They voted with their hatred and their bigotry. Even poor white people would rather not have insurance, health insurance, jobs, money, as long as we don't got it. That's how they voted. So they're really trying to put us back in the place where black people were not rich, black people didn't have any wealth, black people and minorities and immigrants are not going to do well in this country. That's what they're doing. And the amount of money that black women are spending on wigs, just imagine how many companies would go out of business overnight if we took our power back as black women. Say no to relaxers. Done. Perm industry, out of business overnight. Done. Wore our natural hair. Learn your hair. I would say it take a few months. When you go natural, you do your big chop or you do your transition or whatever you choose to do. It takes a minute for you to learn your product, learn what products work for your hair, learn all the ways in which you can do your hair, all of that. It takes a minute. But once you get past that awkward stage where you don't know what to do with your hair and now you know what to do with it, the weave industry, out of business overnight because we're the ones making them rich. And meanwhile, Black women need to be sticking together right now. This is not the time for us to be in competition with each other, for us to hate on each other, for us to be competing for the male gaze. Like, why are y'all still doing that? The male gaze, really? Now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of y'all are not. A lot of y'all have woken up from that nonsense because you realize the fairy tale doesn't exist. But there's a lot of Black women out there who feel like, this was going to be a different topic. And I'm gonna touch on this more in another video very soon. The stupidity of Black women competition. Okay, I'm just gonna scratch the surface because, like I said, I'm gonna go way deeper into detail with this. The male gaze. These are the stupid ways that Black women compete against each other. Okay, the male gaze, fake hair, competing who got the better bust down, or whatever it's called, right? That woman with her fake wig and her cheap wig cost $60 and mine cost $1,500 for these bundles. Sis came through with the bundles. Blah, y'all compete against fake hair, somebody else's hair. Oh my God, the way my blood boils when I think about that. Y'all compete with each other when it comes to marriage. When we all know marriage is a slave contract for the vast majority of women who get married, 90-something% slave contract. There's no reason. Now a lot of y'all are mad that many of us don't want to get married or don't believe in marriage or is anti-marriage or whatever. It's like, what you mad for? You got access to all the Pookies and Ray Rays and all of the Tyrones out there. Like, but why are you mad and telling us we're bitter and we need to heal? Because we are not in competition with you anymore for literal garbage. Two possums fighting over trash out back is what Black women look like fighting over Glocktavias. That's it. Okay? Another way y'all compete, Black women. So the marriage thing is stupid. We don't care. Get married if you want to get married. Leave single women alone. We don't give a damn. Okay? I got another video that I made yesterday, a recording that I made yesterday. I haven't finished editing it. I'm posting that as soon as I get off of here. So stay tuned for that video. BBLs. Black women feel like they got to smit on other Black women. So who got a fatter ass? Y'all know how I feel. If y'all been following me for a while, you know how I feel about women, Black women who walk around talking about women hating on me because I got a fat ass. And remember, I did a video. If y'all been here since 5,000 subscribers, y'all know I did a video talking about where did having a fat ass get you besides single motherhood. That hurts. I know. It stings. It burns. I know. But having a fat ass just got you single motherhood. That's all it got you. Why are you competing with other women about this shit? You're not better. As a Black woman, we are not better than the next Black woman. We're not. We can live our lives better. We can make different choices. We're not better. None of us are getting out of here alive. We all bleed red. We all got to take a shit at the end of the day. Nobody's better than anybody else. Nobody's poop smell like roses around here. Okay? Why are we doing this? Why are we competing? It doesn't make any sense to me. And who has the most money? That's another one. I come across a lot of Black women's posts, and on one hand, because I've done this, I am guilty of this. On one hand, I get when you get mad at people because they coming for you, you call them broke bitches. I get it. Totally get it. Because I've done it. Like, I ain't finna be sitting up here arguing with some chick that put $5 in her tank, $5 on pump 6. I'm not arguing with you, right? I've done it. When people are coming for you, you got the right to go for the jugular, like I always say. However, in these times, this is not the time to compete with each other. It's not. Okay? This is not the... I'll never pay more than $200 for a hairstyle. I'm sorry. Look, I totally get it. Especially a wig. Come on, y'all. We got to do better. If you're doing well in life, that's fine. Don't put down other women for not doing well unless they're coming for you. If they're coming for you, You go for the jugular. Y'all got my permission. I'm the queen of that. Okay. But just to be doing it, just getting on social media just to make other people feel bad about themselves, look, what are you really hiding and what are you really running from when you do that? Your problems are way deeper if you feel like you got to do that type of stuff just to try to hurt somebody else, if that's your motivation. Because intent is everything. The intention behind something makes or break what you're doing. The intent is everything. Jennifer said, yes, I'm so tired of hearing women talk about having a big ass like they got gold as an award for it. My mom got a BBL for $2,500 and has 4 children. They could have gone to them, her mom. Listen. And that's another thing, too. We're going to talk about the BBL thing, too. Because I brought it up before. BBLs are dangerous to your health. Okay? You're going to regret it within 10 years or less. That's my... I say this all the time because that's my timeline. My timeline is I pay attention to when I see women clearly got work done, and then the time that it takes them to get it taken out, or they unalive because of complications, or they have to get it reversed, or get upkeep management or maintenance or whatever. It's usually within a 10-year or less span when I pay attention to celebrities and people that do it. Okay? You're going to regret it. You're going to have health problems. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Do you really think that putting fat from one part of your body to another part where it doesn't belong is going to sustain you when you turn 50 and 60 years old? Your health is already going to decline as you get older. Do you really think you're going to still be popping with that BBL? At some point, you're going to have to get that shit taken out. And it just is what it is. So you're going to regret the BBL. It's not a matter of if, but when. It is dangerous to your health. You're going to be taken away from your children and people that matter to you, people who love you. Stupid, dumb. Okay? Number 2, most BBLs don't look natural. Somebody just said that in the comments. I just lost it though. Literally dying for a big butt is crazy work. That's the low self-esteem that I'm talking about, y'all. And if you got a BBL in the comment section, I am not trying to attack you. I don't want you to feel worse than I know what you clearly already feel about yourself. That's not my goal here. My goal is to get you to realize first, why do I feel like I need, out of all body parts, why does my butt need to be big? I understand not wanting to have a flat pancake ass. You know what you do for a flat pancake booty? You go to the gym and you do 3 sets of 10 squats and 3 sets of 10 lunges, and you do it consistently every other day because you got to give your body, your muscles a day in between the rest. And you do it for about a month. And I promise you, you're not going to have a pancake booty anymore. You ain't going to have a Buffy the Body booty. Okay? You're not going to have that, but you will, at least you won't have a flat pancake butt. That's how you get a natural butt. You don't need to have a big booty. It's stupid. And who wants a big booty? I mean, who's attracted to big booties besides broke black men and LGBT men of all races? Those are the men. Men are the only gay men and broke black men want a woman to have a big booty. That's it. So you're doing it for the male gaze. And then for every one woman who has a nice BBL, there's like 50 other women who has one that's either nice or not nice. It doesn't really matter. But the point is that the man is going to still be attracted to other women with big butts. So your big booty is not going to keep a man faithful. We know that for a fact. It's not going to make him be like, oh, I hit the jackpot with this one. She got a fat ass. I ain't never cheating on her. That's not the mindset they're going to have. Y'all really think that men can be sexually satiated? They can't. It's impossible. They will never be satisfied. And even when they get what they think they want, guess what they're going to do when they get bored? Want the opposite of that in 6 months' time or a year or 2 years. They're going to just want, hey, girl. They're going to just want the exact opposite anyways. Meanwhile, you put your health at risk. You risk unaliving and leaving your kids without a mother. You risking your health, lifelong health problems for a man that's going to cheat on you and leave you anyway. And I dare one of y'all get on here and say, I ain't doing it for no man. I was doing it for me. I dare you. Because what about you doing it for you? Why do you need to wake up every day and walk around with a big booty for yourself? Why? That sounds like a psychological issue. You don't want nobody to look at you. You ain't doing it for the male gaze. You're not doing it to compete with other women. There is no other reason. But I'm going to wake up in the morning and get out of my bed. And when I walk to the bathroom or when I walk to the kitchen to make me some coffee, I got to have a big booty. When you're saying you're doing it for you, that's what you're trying to convince us of. And I'm not buying it. You think it's going to get you career opportunities or money opportunities or the male gaze so that the high rollers could want you and wife you up or whatever. That's why you're doing it. No one's stupid. Okay? You're not fooling me. You might be able to fool other people with that nonsense. You're doing it most likely for the male gaze. And you're still going to get cheated on. As a matter of fact, y'all know what these men are doing now? They're cloning you once they find out you have a BBL. They're telling you got low self-esteem and natural is better and all that. They go after women with BBLs, and then all the women got BBLs now. So now all the men are bored because 1 in every 3 women got a fucking BBL, it seemed like. And there's nothing exciting about it anymore. Also, if we really want to get to the nitty-gritty, what is having a big booty really going to do for a man unless he wants to stick his pee-pee in it? And if y'all out here letting men stick their pee-pee in your rear end, you got much bigger problems in life. And am I being judgmental when I say that? I am. I'm sorry. If you out here letting these men... Whew. Listen, if you're out here letting me, that's all they can do. Think about it. If you have a nice big booty, the only thing a man can do is smack it, squeeze it, backhand it, right? Grab it while he's hitting it from the back. That's literally it. The only other diabolical, sinister thing he can do with a big booty is take his pee-pee and put it in there. And I guarantee you, if a man wants to stick his pee-pee in your rear end, he's probably down low anyways. I'm not going to even say probably down low. I'm going to say he absolutely is. And he really wish he could do it with a man tonight at 5 o'clock, but he's not available. But you are his girlfriend or his wife. And I know this is a whole other topic, but we can get into this at another time. But I'm bringing all of this stuff up because I want women to really think about all the ways in which we are brainwashed to please men and how it's not going to yield you any positive results when it's all said and done. You're doing all of this for nothing. You're doing all of this to be left to be a single mother, to get whooped on, to be cheated on, to be left hanging with nothing to show for anything but your 5 kids or whatever. That's it. You're doing it just to set your life up for failure. And that's why I like, please, it is so important for women to be single for a while. Work on yourself. Figure out why you want these diabolical things that you think you want. And once you do that internal work and have that internal dialogue with yourself, you're going to find that I'm doing this for the male gaze. I'm doing this because I don't want to be seen as this, or I'm doing this because I want to be accepted over here. None of which is going to yield you any lifelong happiness. None of it is. None of it. The men are not going to be faithful to you. There's nothing in the world a man can do to be faithful. There's nothing you can do as a woman to keep a man faithful except getting a man who wants to be faithful. That's it. The man has to want to be faithful to you, to be faithful to you. No amount of surgery, no amount of submission, no amount of being his peace. None of that is going to keep a man faithful to you. Because that it all boils down to y'all thinking that y'all are going to get some prize in a man if you conform to all of these different beauty standards and the submission crap, letting the man lead. That's another thing that pisses me off about Black women talking about, I want a man to lead me. Are you dumb? Are you slow? Are you incompetent? Why do you need to be led by somebody who's most likely just going to lead you off a cliff? But even if he wasn't going to lead you off a cliff, why do you need to be led by anybody? Black woman, the most powerful woman on the fucking planet, the blueprint. You need to be led by another dying human being? Do you hate yourself that much? Do you hate your life that much? Are you that tired of life that you gave up and you would rather put your livelihood, your health, your mental health, physical health, your finances, all of that in the hands of another dying human being? Somebody who's going to croak one day just like you. But y'all walking around acting like these Black men are kings or kangs, or that they're in what's the word I'm looking for? They're not going to die, immortal, right? Y'all walking around acting like these men are some kind of a deity. And most of them are battling their sexuality. Most of them don't even want you for real. They're with you because of your free labor. That's the craziest part about all of this. Y'all be bending over backwards for men who don't even like you for real. And the more we tell y'all this, the more you're like, oh, well, you sound bitter. But who's really going to be bitter when you sacrifice everything to get nothing in return? Who's going to be bitter at the end of the day when you have nothing to show for your life? You think you're going to be bitter, or you think I'm going to be bitter? Somebody who would never put my life in the hands of anybody, man or woman, but especially not no damn man. I think I would much rather put my life in the hands of a woman. I would rather put my life, I would rather put my life in the hands of a self-hating Black woman before a man. And I'm sorry to say that. Yeah, my bad, my thing just broke. A self-hating Black woman is still better than a man, than a Black man. I'm sorry to say that. That's really how I feel about it. But like I said, I'm not putting my life in the hands of nobody, ever. If you want to come along and be a part of my journey and you want to help me move to the next level, that's fine. But sitting there and depending on you in its entirety, absolutely not. That is the behavior of a person who does not value their own life. Y'all have been on this earth long enough to know that people are fickle. Life is unpredictable. Life is fickle. We've been on this earth long enough to know the last thing you should ever do is put your life in the hands of somebody else, especially a man, especially a Black man, but men in general. But if you are out here letting men enter your back door, you got bigger problems, man. I don't care if you like it. There's women who are like, but I like it. I don't give a damn if you like it. You're going to regret that later in life when your sphincter muscles can no longer hold your poop in and you're walking around having to wear a diaper. That is a real thing. You know why you don't hear about it? Because people are embarrassed to admit it. That's why. The same way I tell y'all, a lot of women find out that they're HIV positive when they go get their pregnancy checkups, and everybody comes to the hospital like, oh, it's so cute. Oh, your baby. And you're sitting there crying, talking about this postpartum depression, but really you just don't want to tell people that your test results came back positive. And y'all think that's not a real thing because people are too embarrassed to talk about it. That's why. It's not that it's not happening. People are embarrassed. Would you want to talk about it if it were you? No. You wouldn't. And that's why a lot of people around you are battling this stuff and they're not telling you about it because they're embarrassed. I would be embarrassed. The stigma behind that stuff, think about it. So, yeah, letting a man enter your rear end is going to catch up with you later. In your 40s and 50s and 60s, and you're walking around and you got to wear, it's not funny. It just made me think of a diaper because somebody was talking about these women's BBLs look like diapers or pissy diaper. Not just a regular diaper. It looks like a pissy diaper. Y'all know the difference between a dry diaper on a little baby and a pissy diaper? Yeah, it looks like a pissy diaper. Y'all gonna be having to walk around with them Depends on, those brief Depends that look like panties or whatever, to hold your poop in. When your sphincter muscles can no longer hold it in because you've been getting rammed in your rear end for however long. Because I gotta please my man. And you know the craziest thing about it is that the men will do that to you and then turn around and be disgusted that you are walking around with a diaper, an adult diaper. These men will damage you and then blame you for being damaged. That's the craziest part about this whole thing. They're like, oh, they're just making me think about Cash Doll. I'm a fan of Cash Doll, right? Her man, her Dusty, who looks DL to me, by the way. That's just my own personal opinion, okay? Looks very DL, very DL. Has talked her into not wearing makeup. Now, the thing about Cash Doll is that she's very pretty without makeup. So she has that going for her. But that's not the point. The point is, why are y'all letting men determine how they want you to look, how they want you to act, how they want your body to be? In a few years, he's going to be mad that she let herself go. Mark my words. That relationship is not going to last either. I give it 2 years or less. Cash Doll is very pretty. And I'm a huge Cash Doll fan, by the way, for anybody who's confused. But when I tell y'all, I get mad when I see women allow men to... She's a whole She's a rapper. I think she's done acting. She's a whole entertainer. And he's like, I don't want you wearing makeup. When entertaining is literally 99% makeup. Like, there's no way you could be on TV or do plays, whatever, without wearing makeup, without looking stupid. Because at the end of the day, you have to wear double the makeup for it to show up on camera in most cases. Otherwise, you're going to look washed out. She's very pretty, so she can get away with it, okay? But that's not the point. The point is, in a few years or however long, he's going to be like, oh, you let yourself go. So y'all let these men talk y'all into stuff, and then they're going to turn around and complain about it later. I give them 2 years. I think he's on the down low, me personally. Y'all, let me find this picture of him. Oh my God. When I saw, first of all, it looked like it could be her daddy. So I was actually very annoyed by the fact. And don't get me wrong, he's probably good in bed. I don't know, right? We like men for whatever reasons we like them, right? I get it. Let me find this. He just seems so zesty to me. Oh my God, y'all. I just cannot. I'm trying to find a clear picture. Why is this? Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 minute. I'm trying to figure out why these pictures are not very clear on my phone right now. Because I feel like if they're blurry on here, they're going to be blurry when I upload it. Oh my God. Okay, it's probably not gonna work. Hold on, y'all. Because for whatever reason, it's not showing up very clear. Ugh, why? None of them are. They're clear when they're small, but then when I click on them, they're very blurry. And I just turned my Wi-Fi off in my house because sometimes that messes with my service on my phone. Yeah. Okay. I ain't gonna be able, it's not gonna work. Because if I upload it, it's not gonna look right. But y'all Google Cash Doll new boyfriend. That's the best I can tell y'all to do. He looks very down low to me. I could be wrong. I don't know this man from a can of paint, but if she's happy, then whatever. She just been. I'm gonna be mad if she have another baby. I'm gonna be pissed. You said Cash Doll didn't have kids for a long time. I'd love that for her. You'd love what for her? For her to have a baby with him? And I think she got 2 kids now, 2 different daddies. And if she's letting this man talk her out of wearing makeup, she's probably going to have a baby by him too. Sorry. And that's the part where I'm like, at some point, you just gotta, I just don't. She let this man talk her out of wearing makeup. He's absolutely going to talk her into having a baby. Oh, you said no, I love that she didn't have kids. Wait, where is it at? Okay. No, I love that she didn't have kids. Yeah, she didn't have them young, but I mean, when she got pregnant by her second baby daddy, I gave them 2 years. I'm telling you, I give all celebrities 2 years. Like 97% of them, I give them 2 years tops. When the moment I got on social media and saw she was pregnant, I was like, that ain't gonna last. Cause it's just something about when a man gets a woman pregnant, they just lose interest in you. I don't know what it is. They start acting funny. They switch up on you. They start acting nonchalant. And it's not even that they're acting nonchalant. They really are. When they start acting like they don't care, it's because they don't care. They've conquered. You're conquered. They've conquered you. You were a conquest. They conquered you and on to the next. That's why even celebrity women who are beautiful and talented are still get left to be single mothers. And she broke up with him, according to her. But think about why she had to break up with him. It still ends the same way. You're going to end up a single mother at the end of the day. I knew the moment he does look like Isaac Hayes. That's exact. I'm sitting here like, who does he look like? That's exactly who he looks like. Oh my God. Once you have a baby with a man, you've been conquered. Please understand that. You can think positively all you want. You can say that's negative. No, you have to, the laws of the universe and all that. You can do all of that and you still going to be left to be a single mother. It doesn't matter. Y'all haven't realized that just about every woman is getting the same outcome? Look at Beyonce. Y'all are not going to convince me that Beyonce and Jay-Z is separated. Y'all ain't going to convince me that they're not separated and probably living in separate houses. Not going to convince me. And I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Beyonce is very male-centered, queen pick-me. And if somebody like Beyonce could get cheated on and whatever after she had babies, it ain't no hope for the rest of y'all. I'm sorry to say that. That sounds so terrible, don't it? But think about how true that actually is. You are not immune. You are not exempt from becoming a single mother. I don't give a damn how you look, how great your body is, how all the men want you. Because all the men only want you to shoot your club up and knock you up to be a single mother. That's it. That's all they want. It's not a flex to be wanted by men. It's actually a threat to your life. Actually. It's a threat to your life. It's a threat to your livelihood, your health, all of that. Being the object of a man's affection is dangerous. Danger, dangerous. Do you hear me? Dangerous. It is not a flex. Never has been, never will be. Sovereign, I'm working out while watching you, and I cannot stop laughing. Thank you. Thank y'all. I like that I make people laugh because so many people make me laugh. I laugh all day, every day. I love social media because my algorithm on social media is mostly like cat content and people cracking me up and people being, black women being sarcastic or being smart or dropping gems. I'm entertained all day, every day. So if I'm doing that for some of y'all, it's an honor. Because I know how important it is to laugh and just have a good time. You know what I mean? So I appreciate when y'all tell me that. Yes, men damage us and then blame us for being damaged. Absolutely. Cash Doll is gorgeous, but oh my God, I cannot believe she allowed that man to make her stop wearing makeup. She'll be wearing makeup again, y'all. She ain't gonna. Cash Doll is not about to go the rest of her life and not wear makeup. Not gonna happen. When she break up with that man, for whatever reason, because he's cheating or she's gonna find out he's down low or whatever the issue, he's like a woman beater too, low key. He started hitting her, going upside her head. Something's gonna happen. She's gonna break up with him, and she's gonna be right back wearing makeup. Mark my words. And like I said, I get him 2 years tops. 3 if she lucky. Or if he's lucky, should I say. He told her not to wear makeup. Yeah. And she was bragging about it. He doesn't want me to wear makeup. Who cares what he wants? I bet you Cash Doll had on a face full of makeup when he approached her, though. I bet you that. I bet you she had on lashes, blush, contour, the whole 9. When he approached that ass, I bet you he did. I bet you she did. But now all of a sudden, I don't want you wearing makeup. That's and men get off on conquering you. They want to mentally conquer you, and they want to conquer you with babies. They go after baddies on purpose to bring you down a peg. He wants to destroy her career. Absolutely. You listen. He wants her to thrive, maybe, while they're together so he can benefit from it. But anytime he doesn't feel like he can benefit from it, that's when they're gonna try to destroy everything that you built up. I hope she does not marry this man. And I hope to goodness that if she does, she signs a prenup. And for the love of all things holy, do not have a baby. You're going to be a 3rd-time baby mama. Why? You are Cash Doll. Why? And listen, I'm telling y'all, hopefully she breaks up with him before it happens, but he going to talk her into having a baby. He's definitely going to cheat on her with the woman. Absolutely, he is. He'll cheat on her with the woman who wears full face makeup every single day. Absolutely. Yeah, I've seen a couple of her films, those Detroit things, whatever. And she's not bad. If she really works on her craft, she could be better. Like she definitely has the potential, in my opinion. She's already very talented. I love her music. She's very, very pretty. Like, I love a brown-skinned, dark-skinned black woman. There's a lot of them that don't get the recognition that they should. Normani is another one. She just got engaged to some guy that Sierra and Russell introduced her to. I forgot his name. I think he a ball player or whatever. But her career, Normani's career, is not where it could be. She should be much further. My fear is that she's going to get married and have a baby, and that's going to be the end of her. And I'm hoping that does not happen. Oh, my God, y'all. And I hate to sound like, I feel like black women having babies is doom and gloom, but it's because it turns out to be more so than it doesn't, if that makes sense. Like it just ruins. And don't get me wrong, Black women are resilient and Black women can rise from the ashes for sure. But I just don't believe in making your life harder than it has to be. Like, why? Your life does not have to be that hard. Wait, what? Okay. My brain ain't working right now, so I'm sorry I didn't read all of that because I don't know. Uh, they'll say it's other women who sabotage us when our biggest haters are our partners. There are women who will sabotage you for sure, but your biggest op is absolutely the man that you are with in most cases. If anybody's going to be your biggest op, it's going to be the man that you lay next to. He wants to dim her light, but he probably disguises it as I want what's best for you. Absolutely. You're so beautiful without makeup. You're this, you're that. The thing about it is, it doesn't matter. Cash Doll is very pretty. She's built nice and all of that. Men are still, a lot of times men don't want women to be all made up and stuff because they want to keep other men from you. That ain't gonna work in Cash Doll's case. So whatever his little plot or plan is most likely not gonna work anyways. Hopefully she don't let him get too much in her head. I hope not. It's not gonna work because she's Cash Doll. So at the end of the day, but unfortunately, Cash Doll will only attract Black men for the most part. She'll attract some of everybody, don't get me wrong. But she doesn't strike me as the type that will date out. So she's going to be stuck with Black men. So she's going to keep getting the same result, unfortunately. Okay, let me go. I'm way, way, way up here. Wait, then right after I say they ain't gonna last, their relationship / marriage, I find out they actually didn't last. It's not. And here's the thing, y'all. Nobody's marriage or relationship is gonna last forever anyway. Nobody's. Like, nothing lasts forever. Like I always say. But everything comes to an end sooner or later. But it's just people like that in situations that are built on jealousy, built on hatred, built on sabotage. Those are just naturally, like more so, they're not going to last. Jay-Z and Beyonce do not have chemistry. They don't. I don't know if they ever did. To me, it was always forced. But like I said before, I believe there's a very high chance that Jay-Z is good in bed. I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, Jay-Z's so ugly. Yes, he's not very attractive. But I can spot a man who can fuck. Me personally. I can spot him from 10 miles away. And honestly, that's what I think. That's what I think. Look at Beyonce's mother. She was trained to be a pick-me. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sorry, but any woman that stays with men who keep cheating on them, I don't think that they have the self-esteem. They don't know their fool. They don't, in my opinion, they don't know their worth. They could be good women. They could be sweet women. They could be nice and loving and all of that, but they don't actually know their worth. There is no way a woman who knows her worth and knows just how valuable and important she is in this life is going to stay around and let a man put her health at risk. That alone will be enough for you to be like, you know what? I don't care how much I love this man. This man could bring me an incurable disease that I can't get rid of that could take my life. I'm not taking that chance. I don't trust him no more. It's over. That's typically, and you might cry yourself to sleep at night for months because you're depressed that you had to get rid of him, but you got rid of him and you know you'll eventually get over it. That's a woman who knows her worth. You're going to be sniffling and crying and snotting and everything else for however long. But the most important thing is you need to get on the other side of that. A man who's cheating on you, putting your health at risk, doesn't care about you. It's up to you to care about you, because he doesn't. Doesn't matter what he say. If he cared about you, he wouldn't have been cheating in the first place. Solange throwing down in that elevator still sticks with me. I can guarantee you that Solange situation had something to do with another woman that Jay-Z was dealing with. I don't know who, I don't know the circumstances behind it, but if you really think about it, there is no acceptable reason for your sister-in-law to want to whoop your ass other than doing something to hurt their sister. And the one thing that can hurt their sister is either you're putting your hands on her sister or you're cheating on your sister. That's it. There's nothing else that will warrant your sister-in-law putting their hands on you like that. So I guarantee you that has something to do with some other woman or something along those lines. I don't care what nobody say. Think about why you would want to beat up your brother-in-law. If you had one. Why? Whoop him down in the elevator. Why would you ever want to do that? What reason? What reason would you ever, that you can think of, that you would want to beat up your brother-in-law? I remember when Jay-Z and Beyonce first got together, and even back then I thought they were an odd match. They make cute kids though. At the time, I just thought Beyonce was social climbing, in my opinion. I remember the interview he did with I want to say it was Sway. And Sway was asking him, was him and Beyonce dating? And he was like, if I say yes, I'm putting 80 million people in our business. If I say no, I'm still putting 80 million people in our business. 80 million or 60 million, something like that. And I knew then they were in a relationship. That's what let me know. I don't know how old I was. I had to be like 17 or 18 at the time. I remember that interview like it was yesterday. And I was like, yeah, they together. And the guys around me was like, he wish, man. Jay-Z wish he could pull Beyonce. All the guys around me was talking stuff because we was all watching TV, because I used to work at this recreational center, and the guys used to come up there and play pool and play basketball and all that stuff. It was a rec center. And that was one of the way that was working there let me know how men really are. That was one of my introductions to how pretty much all men cheat and they be lying. They got the most beautiful wives, but they're all cheating on them, stuff like that. When I worked there for that year, that taught me so much about men. Oh my God. I was like, I think I was 15, just turned 16. But we were all in there watching that interview, and everybody in there was swearing up and down, Jay-Z wish. And I was looking at them like, no, I'm pretty sure they're together. And they told me I was young and I didn't know what I was talking about. And not too long after that, they kept their relationship a secret. But I think the only reason why they did that was because of her age. Because she was way younger than him. I think she's like 10 years younger than him. So think about when Beyonce came out in Destiny's Child, she was like in her mid-teens or whatever. And that's when they get you. And I don't care what nobody say, her mom and dad sold her to Jay-Z in one way or another, if y'all get what I'm saying. And Beyonce became bigger, quicker with Jay-Z's help. Do I think she would have been a bigger star regardless? I do. But it would have took her a little bit longer. But Jay-Z absolutely elevated her career for whatever reason, whatever his agenda was, whatever it was. He wanted to do it with Aaliyah, but Aaliyah didn't like him like that. And then next thing you know, she ends up unalived on a plane, which I have my suspicions about that too. But we're not going to get into that right now. What time is it? I'm finna get off of here, y'all. I've been on here an hour and a half. Okay, that's not too bad. I wouldn't be surprised if they separated. If things come out about Jay-Z, she can get away clean. And I think that that's a big part of why that will happen. She has to find a way to legally distance herself from whatever accusations may come out about Jay-Z later. Jay-Z knows how to play ball. So I don't know if Jay-Z will ever be found out in his lifetime in the way, like exposed in the way like P. Diddy was. He'll still most likely get away with it, But it's just a point that, I feel like they didn't go after Diddy until Diddy tried to sue Ciroc, the company that he delusionally, which I don't think that's a word, but he delusionally thought was his company. He act like he owned Ciroc, even though he was just a partner or the face of it or whatever at the time. But he caught himself trying to sue them. And to me, that's not a coincidence. Now all of a sudden everybody got your head on the chopping block. Same thing with Bill Cosby trying to buy the NBC network. Same thing with Prince and Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson wanting to buy his own catalog. Prince wanting to buy his own catalog. They all just mysteriously ends up unalived or their reputation ruined. R. Kelly wanted to get his masters. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, that's what they do. When they're gonna end you as a Black person. They're gonna end your career or your reputation or unalive you at some point in your career anyway. One of those two things are gonna happen to you for sure as a Black entertainer, especially a Black man. Either you're gonna unalive at a pretty young age, or they're gonna ruin your reputation. Now, and it's not to say that they didn't deserve it, because they do, in my opinion. But they give Black men enough rope to hang themselves. So even though it is strategically created to keep Black men down and to keep them from really flourishing later in life, even though that is in place, Black men don't do themselves any favors because they literally do all the things that white supremacy expect them to do. All of the depravity and all that stuff, they do it because it's in their nature. The white people know that. So they just sit back and they let you do what it do. And then once you come for them, or once you try to get your masters or you sue somebody or whatever, they're gonna pull out the big guns, and then they're gonna ruin your life and or career or end you like off this planet. If you really think about it, that's the fate of just about every Black entertainer or that's ever lived. That's their story. Most of them don't live that long to begin with. And if you do live a long time, they're going to make sure that your reputation is tarnished, which, like I said, they did it to themselves. If Bill Cosby had his ass at home with his wife instead of cheating, they wouldn't have been able to plant nothing on him in the first place. So I blame them for what they got. They put themselves in that situation. They had enough rope to hang themselves. But that's just what they do in the industry. That's my own theory. And that's just based on what I've observed over all these years. That's what I've observed. That's what it seems like to me. Let me read these super chats. Okay, Ray John is a new member. Thank you. I got to do something with my memberships, y'all. I keep forgetting about it, but every time I go live, y'all remind me. TMFJ, thank you. She gifted. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the super sticker. The Ultimate says, wonderful message. I knew this message at 13, now 49, child free. I look 35. Hey. Sleep 9 hours at night and travel often. We are labor and an incubator. Avoid poverty. Absolutely. That's literally what I live on. They just want somebody to pump out future tax slaves. And I'm not participating. Hair discrimination is reinforced by the dominant society, though. I've experienced hair discrimination at many jobs. I've even filed EEOC complaint. Yeah, I agree with that. But I don't care about hair discrimination. Because I'm showing up to work with my hair the way I want to show up with it. And if don't give me enough, do not give me enough proof where I can file a discrimination lawsuit, because I will. But I'm wearing my hair how I want to wear it. I'm not acquiescing. If I go to a job and they say, hey, you need to wear your hair like this. You need to wear a wig, or you need to straighten your hair. I'm going to say absolutely not. I'm not willing to get heat damage to work around a bunch of women who are jealous of me and who don't like me and who going to try their best to either make my life miserable at work or get me fired anyway. I'm not getting heat damage for that. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. So if a job ever came at me with that BS, If I can get a lawsuit out of it, I will, but I will not be working there. I will move on to the next place. This is not the place for me. I don't want to work anywhere where somebody doesn't want me because of the color of my skin or because of the way my hair grows out of my head. Y'all can kick rocks. And I want Black women to have more confidence in themselves than to feel like they got to acquiesce to wearing somebody else's texture of hair on your head to fit in. No, absolutely not. You probably had to do that back in the day, back in the 40s or the 50s or whatever. We ain't doing that in 2025. No. I refuse. If you feel like you need to play the game for a little while to get ahead, to make enough money to start your own business or whatever, I'm all for that. But absolutely not. No. Oh, what the hell is this? I'll be listening until bedtime and then again tomorrow with complete concentration. Thank you for your work, P.S. You are one of the few podcasters I enjoy, not only listening to, but also watching. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know what PLN is. What is that, y'all? Let me look it up. I don't know what that is. But thanks. Thank you. So that's it for that. Let me read a few more comments and I'm going to jump off. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you all for your comments and your super chats and your support and liking the live. If y'all haven't liked the live, please go like it real quick. Thank you. But yeah, we got way off topic like we always do over here. But hats off to the one and done mothers who are like, look, I enjoy motherhood to some degree, or I enjoy it a lot, but I ain't doing this shit again. Shout out to y'all. I feel like them understanding because they are a mother. Because see, that's another thing. Can't nobody tell a one and done mother you don't understand because you're not a mom. They won't be able to pull that. They can't do that. They will try to say, oh, you don't understand because you don't know what it's like to have multiple kids. But they can't say that you can't, you know what I'm saying? But that's what people do. They always try to put you in a box, no matter what you do. If you don't have any kids, you're a waste of a woman. If you only have one and done, you're selfish for not wanting to give your kids a sibling. If you have 2 kids, oh, you should have 3 times the charm. If you have 4, why you got so many kids? Like it don't really matter what you do as a woman, I swear. That's why I'm going to always advocate for women to live their lives how they want. Absence of people's opinions. Do you play the game to win? You are in the game, whether you like it or not. So play to win. Whatever that is, whatever that looks like to you on an individual level. Elder care is the business to get into. The baby boomers will need care. Yeah, I agree. I got out of healthcare because I just don't want to do it anymore. I did it for almost 20 years. I'm over it. But I do miss taking care of people, but I don't miss all the other stuff. I don't miss all the other crap. And it's very physically taxing. But if it takes a certain type of person and a certain amount of like compassion and empathy to do that kind of work. So if you feel as though you can handle that, I would absolutely get into it. Like SJ Talks is saying, for sure. Because, and if Black women, if y'all could find a way to like, we got to start brainstorming, and we need to start brainstorming now. Do not take anything to chance. Do not think, oh, everything is going to work itself out with the economy and with our president. It might not. So we should start brainstorming within ourselves, and then maybe a few people around you, a few trusted friends around you, because everybody around you ain't your friend. Start brainstorming ways that we can individually start our own companies or like SJ Talks was talking about getting into elder care. Maybe there's some kind of like certificate or degree or whatever, a trade you can get into where you can start your own like group home or something like that. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. But we gonna have to start going back to the drawing board, and we need to do so very quick, because the way things are going in this country and the ways in which Black women are the most educated, and now they don't want to. A lot of Black women are going to find that they got their degrees for nothing, because they're going to start, legally they're able to discriminate against hiring you now because of DEI being taken away. Them degrees ain't going to mean anything in a minute, probably, under this current administration, and whichever other administration is to come after this one, I don't know. So, I'm not really the type of person that'll say degrees are worthless. I hate when people say that, because they're not worthless. But because of where we are in this economy, because of where we are under this current administration, they're probably going to make it for nothing. They're going to make it to where it's for nothing on purpose. This is going to be on purpose. I hope y'all get what I'm saying. Under all the other administrations or whatever, yes, you could thrive in your chosen career with your chosen degree. But because their goal right now is to make America great again, aka make it white again, make it to where only white people are succeeding and nobody else is succeeding, because that's where we're headed in this country, you got to prepare for the worst. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. My degree changed my life drastically. I'll say that. I'm sure it has. Like, I will never be a person to say don't go to college. College is useless and these degrees are worthless. I hate when people say that. When people say that, I'm like, you sound like a hater. You sound like you don't want other people to accomplish something, or you're mad that they accomplished something that you couldn't accomplish. All day, every day when I hear people say that. But you got to think right now what they're doing with DEI. Trying to keep women out the workforce, trying to keep Black people down, trying to keep minorities and Black people or immigrants from succeeding in this country. They're trying to ship people back. All of that they're doing. So, yes, you may have a degree in something, but who's to say? And that's another thing, too. A lot of us are going to be losing jobs to AI in the coming very, very near future. Very near future. So right now, when we have a few extra hours or a few 20 minutes out of the day where you are free, use that time to start thinking up ideas. I remember listening to this one guy, Brian Tracy. He's like a motivational speaker that I used to listen to on YouTube. And he said, just come up with 20 good ideas. And out of that 20, one of them will work. At least one of them will work. The first few you think of is going to be like, that's stupid. Doesn't matter. Write them down. Go in your notes, journal, however you like to take notes and write stuff down. Write it down. Go through that list and figure out what you can do. Be realistic and think about the economy that we're in. Think about what thrives when we're in a recession. Stuff like that. Start thinking about that type of stuff, because we're going to have to get ahead of this as Black women. I'm not necessarily that worried about us, because we always find a way to survive, because we're resilient as fuck. Like, we're going to be okay. But we still need to go back to the drawing board, in my opinion. Try the list of ideas. Just like start thinking of stuff. And he even admitted, he said half of them are going to turn out to be garbage. But you just need one. You just need one, So do a list of 20 things or 25 things or 40 things or however many you can think of. And at least one of them will work. And it's not anything that you need to do all at one time. You can write down, right now you may only be able to think of 3 things or 2 things right now. And then next week you will think of something else. And then tomorrow you will think of something else. Make sure you put them all in the same place in your notes. And then just go back to it periodically. And the more you start thinking about this stuff on a conscious level, subconsciously, it'll kind of seep into your like psyche, in my opinion. And the more you think about it, the more ideas will just start coming to you because it's on your mind already. And what you think of the most expands, right? So when you got something on your mind, when you talk certain things into your phone, they're gonna find ads to match what you've been thinking. You're gonna be like, dang, I was just thinking about this. Use that to your advantage. Also, another thing I've been doing is I got the Chat GPT app on my phone. I know it might sound cringy to some of y'all, but this works. When you get on there, you can start asking Chat GPT anything. Anything. Like last week, I was like, okay, I need to come up with a schedule. Now that I switched over to third shift, I want to I have to revise my schedule. Chat GPT knows that I work third shift. It knows that I'm a content creator. It knows I'm a truck driver. It knows all these things. So everything you put in there, it's going to remember. So if you put a bunch of stuff in there today and then you get back in there next week and ask another question, it's going to go off of what you've already put in there. And it's going to say, okay, based on the fact that you work third shift and you're a truck driver, you're a content creator, here is a outline or a suggestion of how you can go about, doing content creation and doing your exercise routine or whatever. It's really been helping me, y'all. The phones are listening to us anyway. These technology and these technical companies, they already know everything about you anyway. I ain't trying to be funny. I know we all want to feel like we need to maintain some privacy, and yes, we can as much as we can. We should, but they know everything about us anyway. It is what it is. The iPhone, in my opinion, was just a national security breach. Having an iPhone, they already know everything about you. Point blank, period. So just, it's out there. We can't get away from it. Okay. So use it to your advantage. Sorry, I gotta text my boo dang. Okay. Okay, where I leave off at. I don't know, Sovereign. ChatGPT is literally a sycophant. It's kind of scary. It is scary. However, we're stuck with it anyway. That's the thing that y'all gonna have to come to terms with. We're stuck with AI and ChatGPT. The only thing you can do now is make it work for you. The only thing we can do at this point is use it to our advantage. That's it. That's literally that's the only place to go from here. It's here. It's not going anywhere. Make it work for you. Don't tell it anything too sensitive. Open AI is doing all kinds of things with that. Could be true, but listen, if you have a smartphone, all of your information in the entire world is already in the hands of the people who want it. Trust me. Everything we do on our phone is being monitored. Your passwords to your bank account, your passwords to your journal, your fucking search history, the stuff you buy on Amazon or Fashion Nova or whatever, it doesn't matter. It knows everything. If you got an iPhone and you got Apple Pay, it knows it got all your information anyway. There's no way around this, people. The only way around this is to get rid of all your electronics and go live off the grid. No electricity, no electronics, no nothing. That's the only way you're going to get away from this. I didn't want to accept that either, but it is what it is at this point. Make it work for you. All you can do at this point is make it work for you. You ain't going nowhere without being found. You ain't. So, you know what I mean? There's nothing you can do about it. She said, well, that's why they call you Sovereign. Why? As soon as I say something, they play a commercial for it after a video I watch on YouTube. They're listening. Absolutely. That's exactly what they're doing. They started doing all of this for advertising purposes, but then it just turns into wanting to spy on people and wanting to be nosy. You know, when stuff get in the wrong hands, it always goes south. Always. Some companies are hard up and will hire blacks anyway. God is able. I hope that's true. Because these hardcore racist people, I was just watching something yesterday. I don't know how true it is. I'm just relaying a message. I think they said somewhere in Louisiana or St. Louis, Missouri, somewhere where they're starting to put up whites only signs again. Or like no blacks allowed or whatever. I saw that on TikTok yesterday. I don't know how true it is. I'm not surprised though if it's true. That's a good thing. I want to know where not to go. I want to know where they hate me so that I don't got to spend my money there. For the most part, them little mom and pop shops or whatever. When it comes to these major corporations, I don't think it's going to matter, if I'm being honest. Target, perfect example. I don't know. They're going to lose money, but they going out of business is unlikely. Especially, at least now, at least in this time. I don't know what's going to happen in 5 years or 10 years or whatever. But that's what they're doing. So some of these companies out here are so racist and they couldn't wait to get rid of DEI for the sole purposes of being able to get away from not having to hire black and brown people and minor or immigrants and stuff. So I understand ChatGPT plays a factor in pollution, but the groups of people trying to keep us down literally use it as a tool to keep us down. ChatGPT has changed my life for the better in so many ways. I'm on that side of the fence as well at this point because, like I said before, I'm going to keep saying it. AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It's too much money. It's too much profit. It's too much whatever. Too many innovations. It's not going anywhere at all. Make it work for you. Figure out how you can make it work to your advantage and keep it pushing. Don't use administration calendar on your phone. Red states by that data. I still have my period app because if I didn't, I would forget. I'm just being so honest right now. I would be like, because sometimes I'd be looking at like, dang, period is in 5 days. Didn't I just give like it'd be a month? It go by so fast. So it helps me to stay tracked. I also don't live in a red state, at least not yet. So I'm not really that concerned with that. But also too, if you're not putting pertinent information in there outside of your period, there's really no way that they could ever, in my opinion, they will want to track it to see who's pregnant and who's not. They're not going to be able to go off of if you're pregnant or not by if you don't put your dates in. Like, because a lot of times I forget to put my dates in anyways. But if you're not putting in any other information in there, and like in your notes or extra notes or whatever, there won't be really any way for them to use that against you. Because if they try to use mine against me, then I'm pregnant every other month. Because every other month that I forget to put my, you know what I'm saying? Do y'all get what I'm saying? But if you don't want them tracking it, that's fine. I would say get rid of it. But I'm not really worried about that right now. Just because if you are in a red state, I would worry about it. But even then, if I ever thought I was pregnant, I would never go to the doctor to get a pregnancy test anyways. I would order one online or go to Target and get one and do with that information what I will. My eyes only. Ain't nobody gonna see or know. When you go to the doctor, you're gonna be on record as being pregnant if you're pregnant. And that's when the tracking is gonna start. So you would have to be smart about that. But yeah, if you feel like if something is telling you to get rid of the period abstinence, just get rid of it. You'll be better off. She said Target is losing money because of competition with Amazon, Walmart, etc., not boycotts. I believe that. Yeah, I think that's true too. I don't think the boycotts have anything to do with it. But I'm gonna go to Target until Target closed their doors. So argue with your mama. Argue with your mama. If, like I said before, if Alta came out and said that they were getting rid of DEI, if y'all really think I'm finna stop going to the number one place that supplies like 80% of my makeup, skin, and beauty products, y'all are crazy. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. If you live in the United States, you're putting money into white people's pockets no matter what. There's no way around that. The only way you can stop doing that is to not have anything, like you are a minimalist that don't buy nothing, or you leave the country and go somewhere else. That's it. That's the only way around it. Living off the grid and not buying anything. I'm not too concerned with that. Like, this is the country we just happen to be born in. Some people may leave. I've been thinking about leaving all the time. Most people are not leaving. So you just make do with what you got. They're putting whites only signs up because of the black fatigue. Black fatigue is, in my opinion, created by white people or people that are not black. If you're fatigued by black people, which, okay, let me say this. I've experienced black fatigue as a black woman. So it's a real thing. Sometimes black people get on my last nerve, and I'm tired of black people at times. However, we have the right to be tired of each other the same way a mom may get tired of her kids getting on her nerves, or your annoying sibling, brother or sister, keeps pissing you off on purpose just to annoy you. That's the kind of black fatigue that I experience. It's like love, hate. I hate you today, but I love you again tomorrow. When other races of people say black fatigue in that instance, it only exists because of white supremacy. So, like, if you're tired of black people doing this or doing that or being this way, stop being so racist. And then black people could relax. And then we're relaxed, you can be relaxed. That's how I see the whole black fatigue thing. I don't really care about anything else. Like, you know what I'm saying? White people created that because, like, they're fatigued of black people doing better than them and having the secret sauce that they don't have, the seasoning that they don't have. Some of them, most of them. There's plenty of white people with seasoning. Y'all get what I'm saying? But the vast majority of them have none. And that's what their fatigue is. They're fatigued of looking out into the world and seeing black people, especially black women living our best lives and not being controlled by whatever BS that they got going on. That's what they're fatigued about. I'm tired of seeing all these black people coming up to this job driving a better car than I have. I'm driving a hoopty, and they got these nice luxury cars doing better in life. I'm tired. I'm fatigued of living in a trailer park. And the black people who are supposed to be doing worse than me have a 4 and 5 bedroom house somewhere over there in a nice neighborhood. And I live in a trailer park. That's what they're fatigued of. They're fatigued of black women being the blueprint. That's what they're fatigued of. But yeah, let them be fatigued. I don't give a damn. I'm all for white people putting up whites only signs. Because first of all, we're not our ancestors in that way. We are not fighting for equality. If anything, Black people nowadays, especially millennials, we want to be left the fuck alone. We don't want to be harmed or bothered. We just want to be left alone. So if I walk downtown somewhere or wherever and I see a bunch of white only signs, I am not going to feel no kind of way. I will be happy to not go in a place that don't want me there. Happy. Overjoyed. Some people will see that as, oh, we're going back to the 50s, or we're going back to before the civil rights movement. We're going back to Jim Crow. We ain't never left Jim Crow. It's always been this way. It was more covert. That's all. Now it's more overt. But this shit has always been this way. I just want to know. Exactly. I want to know who don't want me there. I'll save my money. Another reason why Black women, in particular, need to support Black businesses and other Black women. That weave money, that wig money can be poured back into the Black community, aka Black women and children. To hell with the Black men, they can make their own way. Whatever. I watched Bourbon Bougie react to a comment chain, and a man she reacted to literally said women shouldn't have job opportunities because they are women. Yeah, that's how a lot of them. And look at how how many Black men have been rejoicing over Black women losing their Section 8, whichever Black women had Section 8, and them getting their food stamps cut. They absolutely want to see Black women suffer. In particular, nails too. Yeah, the nails don't bother me as much as the hair does, only because the nails don't really have the same kind of discriminatory history as our hair has. Nails are just nails to me, you know. I don't wear fake nails. I wear fake nails for a short, very short phase in my life in my 20s. And I've always had like naturally long nails. So I've never like, these are my nails. Like I've never like needed to wear fake nails anyway. These are my natural nails. And they get longer than this. I have to cut them off a lot because they get really long. But I'm not really going to badger Black women about nails too much. But yes, all the money that y'all spend and putting in other communities' pockets, I mean, oh my God. Y'all think they hate us now. What if we were to take that money and put it back into ourselves? We would run this shit. That kind of money. But Blacks are also having Black fatigue. Yeah, I agree. I just think whoever came up with the term Black fatigue was white people. I don't think a Black person came up with that. That's what I'm saying. And the only type of Black person that would have come up with that phrase to begin with would be a whitewashed Black person. A Black person who thinks that they're white or wish they were white. But like I said, I'm pretty sure a white person came up with Black fatigue. That's all I'm saying. Yes, I have Black fatigue too. Every once in a while. For 5 minutes. And then I love us again. But white people who have Black fatigue, they don't like Black people ever. That's the difference. Black women could invest in some land together and do like tiny home community or something. Yes, but in my opinion, that's something that we should do on the low. That's not, I don't think we should advertise that type of stuff until it's done already. But in this country, they're just going to find a way to make it illegal anyways. That's the thing. They can make the laws what they want. They're actively trying to overthrow the Constitution. So whatever rights and protections we thought we had under the Constitution can be washed out tomorrow because of who's in office and the people who support him. So I'm getting closer and closer to the thought of like having to leave the U.S. at some point. because I don't know, something in my spirit is like, it's probably time to start focusing on trying to leave. Because I just don't think it's going to get any better in that regard. We're gonna have a lifetime of struggling to survive, because everything is like pushed on us to keep us down. And I'm sorry, but I don't want to fight like that for the rest of my life. I don't know about y'all, but like, I don't want to wake up at 60 years old and still fighting for civil rights and all that stuff by living in this country. I just don't. At some point, you just get tired of that shit. So, like I said, I can see any strides we make as Black people, they're gonna find a way to destroy it anyway. So when we make strides like that, we have to keep that shit a secret. We can't brag about it. We can't say, "Oh, Black women are starting to buy land together." They're gonna find a way to make that shit illegal. They're gonna find a way to tax it to the point where we can't afford it anymore and we lose it in foreclosure. Shit like that. They're already doing that stuff now. They sued the funding company that Keisha Knight Pulliam was a part of. What was that? I never knew about that. No, it's not about me thinking like that, Ray. It's about, that's the history of this country. And look at what they're willing to do to keep us down. You really think it's not going to get more and more diabolical as the years go on? Think about that for it. The way I'm thinking ain't got nothing to do with it. We talking about reality, the history of this country. That is what they've always done. And these men on that other side of the fence are becoming more and more diabolical. If y'all think it ain't going to get worse from here, y'all are delusional or you're in denial. But the money we can pull together and shit, move the fuck up out of here, like, man, this country would literally just crumble without us anyways. I just wish more of us had the mindset to want to leave. Like, we would find, they got something called like the Black Exodus or whatever, and there's a lot of Black content creators on YouTube that talks about leaving the states and like where other places that we can go, especially as Black women. I only listen to Black women in this regard because, you know, we have to take into account every place in the world. There's too many places in the world that don't like us for being Black. So we would have to be very careful with what country we go to or whatever. But I would only be willing to listen to other Black women who have done it. I can't listen to white men. I can't listen to white women. I can't listen to Mexican women or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I have to listen to Black women who've done it and who are doing it, because they'll know, hey, it's not safe over here, or they're super racist over here, or these people don't care about race. They care about character. You know, it's a long process, and getting citizenship in other countries is not easy and all that stuff. But I'm telling y'all, I be thinking about this every day. And I do feel like one day I'm just gonna up and leave. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Black women in particular, we have to listen to other Black women in that regard. You know what I'm saying? I'm not willing to listen to anybody else that has moved out the country other than Black women. And you still got to take that with a grain of salt as well. I believe it. They don't want us to be great. And as defeatist as it may sound, this is precisely why I would never bring kids into this mess. Because I already know what they're going to face. I say this all the time. People just don't understand how I can just live my life without having kids. And I'm like, I already know what we're complaining. Stuff sucks for us. then I'm gonna turn around and bring a kid into it so they can have the same complaints. How much sense does that make? Oh yeah, I forgot about her. I haven't been seeing her content. I'm subscribed to her channel actually, but I haven't really been seeing her content that much. I need to go back and make sure I'm still subscribed. Thank you for putting that up there because I literally forgot about that. You are smart and selfless. Why, thank you. Siren, I also have to take in the fact that I'm a lesbian. I'm looking, but I'm taking my time. Same. I get exactly what you mean. That's what I'm doing. I'm definitely looking and I'm taking my time. Yeah, and I don't know how it is to be lesbian in other countries. Like I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can go plenty of places that don't have the same like strict you're going to hell type of, ideologies. There's plenty of places outside the country I'm sure you can go. But yeah, that's something else to take into account. But I'm looking and I'm taking my time too, for sure. And I be telling my boyfriend that he'd be looking at me like, "You're gonna leave me?" He hasn't actually said that, but he'd be looking like, "You're just gonna leave? What about me?" I'm like, look, if it come down to my safety as a black woman in this country, your ass, you either coming with me or you can stay your ass right here. But at the end of the day, if it come down from me leaving, I'm leaving everybody behind. Everybody. I don't care. You better follow me or you can stay here. Yeah, that's your choice. But yeah, so I'm finna get off of here, y'all, because I need to go eat. I'm finna make me some tacos. And because I love tacos, like I'm always making tacos. I would say at least once a week. Not on Taco Tuesday either. You know what's so funny? I never make tacos on Taco Tuesday. It just never works out that way. It always end up being Taco Thursday or Taco Sunday for me. Like it's never Taco Tuesday. That's so weird. I just thought about that. But I don't feel like cooking nothing crazy or heavy. So tacos it is. Y'all, I'm so lazy. I had Instacart go get my food. They dropped my stuff off today around like 5:00. Right before I got on here. Right before I got on here. Because I didn't feel like going nowhere. And the craziest thing is I got off work this morning at 6:30. I got home close to 7. Normally I would want to go to the grocery store and grab some stuff before I come home. But today I just, for whatever reason, I didn't feel like it. And then I got up and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the store. And I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like going nowhere. So I got Instacart. And then I find out that I have a man that's doing my order. And do y'all know when I saw it was a guy doing my order, I looked frantically throughout that whole thing trying to find how I can cancel my order because I don't know. I just don't think men do as good a job as women. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, fuck, how do I cancel my order and start over, right? But much to my surprise, this guy did a great job. I only had like 6 items and he got all 6 items in like 5 minutes or less. He was in and out. And you know how you can look, I don't know if y'all got Instacart, but you can look at the progress. So like if you have 20 items, it'll say 3 out of 20 items have been shopped, which means he scanned them into the cart or whatever. I looked at it and it said 5 items shopped out of the 6. And then as I was going to look, he had already got the 6th one within like seconds. And then it was like, oh, he's on his way. And I'm like, holy shit, I got lucky. Uber now will show us to select female drivers, by the way. Really? I didn't know that. Men are the worst ordered. Exactly. That's why I was nervous. But this young guy did a good job. And plus, I don't have my real name on there anyway. I got like I have a alias name. I ain't gonna say what it is, but when you read it, you'll think it's a man name. So yeah. And I always put leave at door. I'm not coming to the door. So you can know where I live or see my face. So yeah. Something for y'all to do if y'all ever get like home delivery stuff. Don't use a man's name and select leave at door. So can't nobody see. Because women have been getting stalked like that. I've been reading stories about that. Men, a lot of times men take jobs like that just to prey on women. Because think about, most men don't like shopping. Most men hate the idea of shopping. They cannot stand going to the mall or going anywhere with no woman. They get in and get out. So a man who wants to shop, that's sketchy. Now, I know that sounds crazy because there's plenty of men that don't mind shopping. But y'all get what I'm saying, right? A lot of them will do that just to prey on women. Everything most men do is to prey on women in some way or another. Like, I still side-eye male OBGYNs. Like, why do you want to be a coochie doctor when you could have been anything else? You could be a prostate doctor. You could be a urologist. You know what I'm saying? You could do it in there. So many specialties, but you chose to be a coochie doctor. Why? I'm side-eyeing you. And I'm not saying that they're all perverts or nothing. I'm not saying that. But I still side-eye them. Because some of them are. Some of them have been found out and put in jail behind their assaults and stuff that they do when women go under. They're waking up with sore genitals and they don't know what happened. And come to find out that their OBGYN has been essaying them while they're under anesthesia and stuff. This happens way more than people think. So yeah, I'm like, I always side-eye when men go into professions that's like predominantly for women, or that they see as predominantly for women, like shopping, like grocery shopping. I'm just saying. She said, unless the doctor is gay. You got to watch out for them too, though, because, sometimes they don't have any, like, what word am I looking for? Sometimes they don't have any, men in general, whether they're gay or straight, they don't have the same compassion for like being gentle with women. Do you know what I mean? Because they don't have what we have, so they don't really know how to not be rough and how to not be, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of iffy. But on average, I think gay men are more compassionate than straight men when it comes to certain things. Or they could be. Should I say they have the potential to be. Just generally speaking. But if you can avoid going to a male doctor altogether, probably just do it. I've had a couple male doctors in my past that were actually really good. They were more like residents. Almost done with their residency. Very good doctors. But, you just got to be careful and use your discernment and go off of your gut. Whatever your gut is telling you, go off of it. Listen to it. What can a man possibly tell me about my lily flower when he doesn't have... Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly... Thanks for putting it like that, because I don't know why I just made that so complicated, but you put it so simple. Exactly. That's exactly it. That's what I was trying to say this whole time. I need to eat. My brain isn't functioning right now. I'm like kind of, I don't know if y'all can tell the difference in my energy level because I need to eat some food. So yeah, I'm going to get off of here. A male doctor is good if you already know what you want and you just give. Yeah, I agree with that too. Use male laziness to your advantage. That I agree with. Right on. That is absolutely true as well. Whenever you can use it to your advantage, please do. But that's going to conclude this live. Thank you to everybody. At least you cooked. I still got to go in there and cook. I got to chop up garlic and chop up bell peppers and whatever else. I put garlic. I chop up garlic and bell peppers in my taco meat. And I use turkey. I don't use ground beef. And it's so good. Oh, it's so good. I don't even. Ever since I started using turkey for everything, it don't even taste right to use ground beef no more. I'll eat ground beef if I'm making some cowboy beans or if I'm making burgers on a grill or something. That's it. When it comes to lasagna or spaghetti or chili or tacos, I use turkey, ground turkey. It's all about how you season it. If you know how to season real good, you can make anything taste wonderful. I like tofu too, actually. I haven't had any in a while. Thank you for the great live, Siren Woman. Thank you so much for being here. Please post this. I missed the entire live. I'm gonna post it. 2.5 hours. I was only shooting for an hour and a half, y'all, but it's fine. 2.5 hours is fine. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I might come back tomorrow or Sunday because I'm off the next couple of days, which is great. And yeah, I might have some time to go live again. But we definitely gonna talk about the stupidity of Black women's competition towards each other. We're definitely gonna talk about that. And eventually we're gonna talk about Black women in our hair and how I want us to like really embrace it better in whichever way you can and bring all that money back into the Black community. Who y'all? The amount of money that we waste on crap that we don't need, man. Wait, I've been watching Yellow Jacket second season, something to do on Netflix. What is that about? I'm into Blacklist. I don't know if y'all who've been watching Blacklist on Netflix. Man, when I tell y'all I am hooked, I'm on season 3. I just got into season 3, and I forgot when it came out. It's older. It's an older show, but I'm just not getting on to it, and that's what I've been watching, binging it. I was even binging it at work last night. I took my iPad, and so yeah, that's what I'm on right now on Netflix. But I'll check out Yellow Jackets, even though I don't know what it's about. Shannon Sharp. What about Shannon Sharp? Oh God, what he did now? Soccer team crashed into the. Oh, I you know what? I have heard about that. You know what? I think when I saw previews of that, I was thinking about watching it, but that was a while ago, and I forgot about it. Yep, I remember that. I'm gonna check that out. I forgot all about that actually. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna post this. Actually, it's probably gonna post itself. Actually, once I end it. But y'all have a good night. I'm finna go eat and watch Blacklist because I don't feel like doing nothing else. I need to do some laundry and stuff, but I said, you know what? I ain't doing nothing tonight. I'm not doing nothing. Take a shower, eat my tacos, and watch Blacklist. So I hope y'all have a good night. Do something fun or relax. Do something for you. Make time for yourself today. 20 minutes, an hour, the rest of the night, whatever. Do that every day. Even if it's 5 minutes, take some time for you to have a breather. And I will see y'all very soon, maybe tomorrow or the day after. Okay. Bye.